the same result. Now, my position and my thesis is that the current work ethics, and that's what led me to this, the current work ethics is nothing to write home about in this country. I don't know where we missed it. I don't know where we missed the train. But cross over to Ghana. I go to Ghana a lot, lecture in some of the universities there as a visiting professor and what have you. I engage Ghanaians. And I noticed that the average Ghanaian in humility and modesty is used to working hard, with a smile on the face, and yet being contented with the daily bread that he or she earns. Just 1 hour ahead or away from here, where did that possibly we need to interrogate properly? Where did we get it from? Is it because of money is not our problem, it's how to spend it that is our problem? The days of oil boom that also led to doom, as the case may be. And we can now know the attendant collateral damages, as the case may be. I've tried to look at the factors that can lead to current poor work ethics in the country. The first may be the lack of political will by the leaders to maintain and sustain a competent and motivated public service, to maintain a competent and motivated public service. The issue of job security, lack of objectivity in recruitment, rewards, and terminations. Lack of objectivity in recruitment, rewards, and termination. Poor compensation or remuneration that does not keep pace with performance in other sectors of the economy. Now, I've just listed them out, but we can dilate on them to the best of our ability. Poor recruitment. How many of you were interviewed? How many of you came into this place on the issue of job security cannot be faulted in a public sector office, but the problem is for you to be disciplined, for you to face the disciplinary panel, or be suspended, warned, dismissed, terminated, as the case may be, you must go through the normal process. That on its own is part of job security. Cushioned by the fact that even when you are wrongly terminated or dismissed, you can still go to court and be reinstated, as the case may be. But the idea of poor compensation is also very important. Poor compensation in the sense that it's a measure you give that you receive. If you are not well remunerated, you may not be in the position to put out your best. That is commonsensical. The measure you give is the measure you receive. In this sense, vice versa. The measure you receive is the measure you give. There's nothing that motivates so much as being in a situation or in an organization where you're so well remunerated. It motivates. It does even more than motivate. It does more than motivate. And it's part of the loyalty to your organization that we try to preach at any point in time. You're loyal to an organization that treats you very well. You're loyal to an organization that takes good care of your welfare. You're loyal to an organization that obviously helps to promote and protect your interests. That's why I say that commanding heights should be here to listen to some of these things. At BP, I told them, in those days of El Rufai as the DG of BPE. People work with a lot of swagger, showing that they work at BPE. Before you can finish anything, even without asking the question, they will tell you, I work at BPE. There's a lot of pride in working at BPE. I don't think it's the same anymore. And when I went there, I told them that there's something fundamentally wrong. And I was saying it in the presence of the leadership, because you have refused to reinvent the wheel. You have refused to create a dimension that will rebrand you and give you proper placing and create objectivity around you to an extent that the nation will still consider you invaluable in the service to this country. That, again, is one thing that should appeal to anybody working in an organization, to make sure that you are proud of the organization that you work. Wear the tag and the banner, the badge of that organization with a lot of pride. But you can be the only one to achieve it, but based on certain considerations, what you're able to get out of it. There is job security, is a fundamental question. Getting your salary at the end of the month. Out there are many people that have retired, haven't served the nation meritoriously for 35 years, some for 30 years because they clocked 60. Yesterday, those people that left Nigeria Airways, the news this morning, one of them died trying to collect a pension that has lasted how long? And that has been the story all over the place. And I said this anywhere. Lest we change our attitude to our pensioners. I've not done it, but give me the opportunity, I will loot. Because life is not when you are in service. Life is immediately when you are out of service. That's when your life challenges commence. You may not have money to go to hospital, your children may not be employed, so they don't have money to take you to hospital. And you're a senior citizen where so many things should be free for you. That is the security we are talking about. Any organization that has worked out its pension benefits and whatever in such a way that immediately you leave office, you get them and you get them regularly as the case may be, that organization has provided security that I'm talking about. So that is very, very important. Well, we give a summary of the functions of NAPTIC. Enforce the Human Trafficking Law Enforcement and Administration Act, adopt effective measures to prevent human trafficking, investigate cases connected with human trafficking, encourage people to fight slavery, and so on and so forth. You know that better than I do. And I wouldn't want to challenge you on that, because you failed on the other one. If you don't know your functions, then you are not supposed to be here. Now, the summary will be, how well have you fared in the application, implementation, and enforcement of your functions? That should be the common denominator. Have we done well? And you can score yourself accordingly. Have you done well? To what extent have you been able to mitigate the challenges of human trafficking in this country? Have you done well? Can you score yourself? If you score yourself below 60%, you are just average. But can you even score 60%? If I'm a DG, if I cannot score 70%, which is an alpha to an extent, but the beginning of alpha, then you have to think twice whether you will even want a new term after the initial term of 4 years. Yeah, because there must be a barometer. The barometer is not running to the filler all the time. The barometer is sitting down to do the job. Let your work speak for you. your work speak for you, but the work of the Director General can only speak for you, through what you do. So understand your functions as enunciated by the law and make sure that you follow it assiduously. Make sure that you execute it to the letters, to the extent that people will be proud of you. I've now gone into a kind of passive consultants, and when people get appointment, whether it is Standard Organization of Nigeria, they come to me. What do you think we can do? What do you think we can do? Whether it's Law Reform Commission or any other, what do you think we can do? You ran very, very excellent office as Director General. Yes, I did. I'm not doubting that. I did. 5-star, there's no doubt about it. I ran a 5-star office. And people will say it forever. Such in a way that I come into, if I get into my office, because I have an office in Lagos and in Abuja, if I get into the office in Lagos tomorrow, the whole place will close down. The staff will be screaming all over the place. I ran a 5-star office. Because I went beyond the functions of my office. I started appropriating functions of other agencies. All in an attempt to project my institution. Because we needed to do that. A point in time when they were thinking of merging some agencies here and there, we needed to be extraordinary in order to survive on our own. And that pushed me to the limits. You need that kind of passion and motivation, which is not founded on money or wealth or any other thing, but founded on legacy and the sense of history. For you to excel in whatever you're doing. Because there is a tomorrow that will always judge you when you are in office. And that tomorrow is what is very, very fundamental. So anybody that doesn't have that at the back of the mind will never get it right. Now, training capacity is one other point that is very, 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 very creative and important. Training capacity, building capacity. Building capacity is very, very important. You are building capacity by what you are doing outside this country. I can train innumerable people outside this country free of charge because the opportunities are there. Especially you will bother to look for it, whereby you can get a clone of your staff every moment. Send them to this place, send them to that place, send them to that place. All expenses paid. They are bound. If only you there. They are bound. At my institute, I had to go to national planning. And you won't believe it. In national planning, the opportunities were there. So when people were asking, where is Professor Zinge getting money? I was not spending the institute money. There was no money. But national planning will train at least 5 of my staff every other quarter. South Korea, Japan, here and there. Some they took to go and do their masters outside. All expenses paid by the national planning. Because I bothered to look deeper to find out that the opportunity is there. And in your own case, it's not just you. Internationally, I can tell you authoritatively, I know that you can find so many places if only you bother to look deep. Train your staff so that they can stand up anywhere in the world and speak with the measure of confidence that is second to none. So that you cannot become secondary to the man coming from Netherlands, or the one coming from Italy, or the one coming from Canada. No, you did not be. Indeed, they should be listening to you. Because the peculiarity of your challenges makes you the expert in this matter. The migration is from here, the trafficking is from here. It's not from there. So you are the expert, they are not. You should be telling them the way to checkmate and control and combat trafficking. They should not be teaching you because they've not experienced it at the level that you have done. Even if the money is not available, tell them that you don't have money, and within the limits of what is available, this is what we can do, this is what we can do, this is what we can do. It's still that information. But do you plan for it? Do you plan that at any festive occasion that staff should be taken care of, one way or the other? At least in order to motivate them. Those days when it is Salah, we give all the Muslims bag of rice, oil. Christmas, we replicate for Christians. We save for it because it means so much to them in terms of welfare. And make the staff feel important. Make your staff feel important. If you don't understand that technique, you're a finished person. Make your staff feel important. You know, we read and we also try to observe. We may not read about Machiavellian theories and what have you, but we read about the attitude of some other people. Why was Babangida such a loved president, military head of state? They will tell you that Babangida, the only thing that soldiers were prepared to die for him, because he knows you, he knows where you live, he knows the names of your children, he visits. There was a connect. Who knows your birthday? Who cares about giving you a cake on your birthday? But you cannot take iHeart cards. On the birthday, we plan ahead of time. We will buy the cake, we will sign the birthday cake, and it will be delivered. It will be delivered. We make money available. Maybe luckily for us, not many of them were getting married then, but at least none that got married, we didn't give out at least 100,000 naira. Whether it encouraged men to come and marry the girls in my office, only God knows. But it was there. And the staff were so elated and on top of the world that they were prepared to wear their badge with a lot of honor and dignity to say that they worked in a particular office. Now the other issue is the policy of na my papa work. You know we all do it. Na my papa work. So it is a policy. Or even deeper, it's a philosophy. You know, philosophy is deeper than policy. Policy is superficial, ephemeral. But philosophy is really, really deeper. Na my papa work. But it is your father's work. Government work is your father's work. The government that is paying your salary and so on and so forth, you and government, you are one. For those who are Christians or Catholics, we talk about the Holy Trinity. God the Father, God the Son, God the Holy Spirit. In this regard, you and government, you are one. You see, we don't understand how inextricably intertwined we are with government until we'll possibly know what is happening elsewhere. It's only in Nigeria that the issue of taxation is not given the pride of place that it deserves. Or any other country in the world lives on taxation. So if there's election in America, it's a question of who is adding more tax, who is reducing tax, who is being taxed, is it the rich or the poor, and so on. In UK, it's the same thing. Taxation is the basis of government existence. So in Nigeria, the terminology is looting money. Which money are they looting? But abroad, the language is that you are taking the taxpayers' money. Taxpayers' money. Anybody that takes any money away from the coffers of government is tampering with the taxpayers' money. It is your money. So if you are the taxpayer and your money is being tampered with, it means that you are part of government, you are government. So any notion of my papa job is wrong, should be condemned, totally unacceptable, and should be deleted from our lexicon as public servants. We are government, and whatever we're doing for government. Government is doing for us. So we and government, we are one. So let there be a trickle-down information from you to the younger staff that whatever we are doing here, we are all part of government. And this philosophy of my papa job should obviously be banished from our language. Of course, dishonesty is also part of it. That we already know. Poor remuneration. I don't know how well remunerated you are in terms of salary, but certainly commendable, could be better. Then the other issue is greed. When people come in, the people in the university system that talk about matriculation and so on and so forth, they are not stupid. They have their basis or the reason for so doing. You have to introduce people into a system, into an organization. By matriculation, people are being introduced into a university system. But when people are appointed into some offices, there's no orientation. They'll just tell you, that's your seat, go and sit there. You are now under admin or audit or accounting. And nobody is there to put you through. You know next to nothing about what is going on. You don't even understand the correlation between an audit and account and so on and so forth. You know next to nothing. Nobody tells you anything about protocol, about anything. Nobody. There's no orientation. And that's why I always believe that the worst set of people as regards protocol, which I consider very important, are public servants. Public servants know next to nothing about protocol. It's very important. It's very important in your interpersonal relationship, even amongst yourself. When I'm DJ, I will walk into an office unannounced, and the staff will be there, and I hope everything is going on. Is there any challenge? What I can do? I'll just leave that place and I'll just be laughing. This is wrong. It is wrong. A DG cannot enter your office and you are seated. It is wrong. You should be on your feet immediately. That's public service etiquette and protocol. A senior officer moves into your office, you should be on your feet. You don't learn that at Wuse Market. It is what orientation should also be. But again, we need to look closely to understand the nuances and the intricacies of public service. By mere observation too. To a very large extent, you don't learn by reading. You learn by seeing and viewing. Then you perfect. So the DG said, director, come and let us go and take a tour of so. And the director and the DG, they are working side by side. It's not done. You should know when you take a step back. Watch the vice president and the president. Watch the governors. You should know when to take a step back so that the actual person is in front. That's government protocol. It is not taught anywhere, but you can observe it by just watching events. These are very, very critical things that people need to understand through proper orientation. You must lead and lead well. You must lead and lead well. It is very, very important. You have to lead well. If you are not leading well, anything goes. Heard about people that system which appreciate work ethics. It's not true about it. This includes promotion, capacity training, office appreciation through merits awards, other forms of recognition, and higher responsibility. Little things, but you don't know how big it sounds in the eyes of the beholder, how big it sounds. When I spoke at NTA, the hall is named Mortem Hall, post-mortem hall. You begin to wonder whether they deal with cadavers or whatever. But basically, that's where they meet every Friday to dissect issues of the week and then prepare for the week ahead of them. As I walked into the hall, I saw photographs. I can't remember the names, but obviously familiar newscasters. In the Stereostoba, I've forgotten the name of the lady. They were the staff of the month. Staff of the month may not even have a cash reward attached to it, but the mere fact that is there decorating that place, it speaks volume. And for the person whose photograph is there, you can never equate what internal joy and motivation that is derived from it. Can never. Things to motivate you. Little things. As part of the reward system. There's some other places, there's some cash rewards attached to it. When you are staff of the month on merit. Again, it's your boss that will recommend you and approve. So if you are not doing well and you are not working in good tandem with your boss, you may never not have also observed you as a very hard-working person. At any level you are, you see those things. It plays out. You don't even need to belong to an office to know that this person works hard. You don't. The way that person carries on, especially when people are result-oriented. Result-oriented. So one leadership training that I was able to come to terms with is I don't listen to excuses. I only take results. So be result-oriented, be result-driven. That's one thing that you must take away. Be result-oriented, be result-driven. I need the results. How you go about it is your business. But don't give me excuses. I couldn't do this. I couldn't do that. If you had challenges, did you circumvent these challenges? Get me the results. That's what a leader must emphasize. That's what a leader must emphasize. If you cheat government by it is settled research. Settled. So what you are doing this, you are building for. You are pensioned. You are 60. You are weak. You are no longer as agile. And you wake up in the morning and you think you can still go to work at 9 o'clock? That is what you will experience if you have not worked hard enough in public service. I bet, what am I going there to do? I'm sitting at my own office. I bet. It doesn't happen if you have really worked hard. It's only when you have worked hard in public service that you can get up in the morning and say, look, I don't belong to this bed. I must go and do something. I must go and fend for myself. I must go and do. So what recognition do you get as part of your reward for working hard? Call it this exercise of discretion. It's there. When I have a picture of my staff that I consider to be hardworking, I put them in my gold book, platinum book. If there's a conference that is coming out, they are the first to go. The measure you give is the measure you receive. Go and fault it anywhere, like this. They are the first to go. You must have a reward system that also motivates. Defend it. Indeed, nobody even bother to ask. So promotion out of town became a veritable reward system. Second, when you have shown clearly the acute sense of working hard, why should I also not exempt you from examination or interview as the case may be? What are you being interviewed for? All I'm saying is that yes, these are the norms that are on ground, but for purposes of achieving the highest level of performance, efficiency, and effectiveness, when somebody has demonstrated clear indicators and attributes of hard work, there must be a way of saying thank you. Certainly we cannot end that aspect of it without talking about the wage that you are earning. Because it is for government, they are talking about increasing the minimum wage, but whatever can be done within the system, and I keep saying it, that NAPTIC as an organization may not be paying anything extraordinary, but the opportunities are bound. Opportunities are bound for you to attract international donors funds or collaboration that will make people move in and move out, as the case may be. In the streets of Abuja,